It could be better.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And work? Do you have a chance to go to work? How was it? How was work?
Normal. Same. Same. Igual que siempre.
Okay, good. So, are you ready for today?
Yes.
Give me just a second so that I can show you my screen. Okay, so today we have new topics, and we're going to start with one that is a little bit more difficult to discuss. And we have a code, COP26, the UN Climate Change Conference. Okay. We know what climate change is, UN, United Nations, and conference. Let's talk about this. The COP26 UN Climate Change Conference will take place 1 through 12 November 2021 in Glasgow, Scotland. This event will bring together country leaders, experts, and environmental campaigners to take urgent action against climate change. Okay, so this already happened. This is in the past, right? Oops. This was in November 2021.
Yes.
Okay, so this already took place in Glasgow, Scotland. Okay, so country leaders, experts, and environmental campaigners to take urgent action against climate change. So let's see what happens. But before that, we have some vocabulary. What about one, a natural historian?
Mm, The process of changing to suit different conditions.
That suit different conditions. Okay, what's a historian? Un historiador. A natural historian.
Mm,
Entonces estamos hablando de alguien, ¿no?
Okay. Someone who studies plants, animals, crops.
Okay, sounds more like it. What about CO2 emissions?
Quantities of carbon dioxide that are sent out.
Dioxide?
Dioxide that are sent out into the air and that are harmful for the environment.
Okay, good. What about a host? Host es lo mismo que decir anfitrión.
A person who participates in activities that are designed to change something in society.
Okay. A person who participates in activities that are designed to change something in society. Okay, we can select this one for right now and see if that's the correct meaning. What about an advocate?
No sé qué significa advocate.
Okay. Una persona que advoca, que plantea los, o revisa, o lo que le conviene a una compañía o alguna organización.
Someone who publicly supports something and speaks in favor of it.
Okay, someone who publicly supports something and speaks in favor of it. Okay, sounds like it. And a summit.
No lo sé. ¿Un envío? ¿Dice?
No, summit es como que lo más alto de una montaña. o de algún lugar, the summit.
A place or organization that provides space for a special event.
Okay, sounds like it. To be due to?
I don't know.
What about adaptation?
Adaptation. The process of changing to suit different conditions.
Suit.
Suit.
Que se acomodan a diferentes condiciones. To suit. Okay. What about a campaigner? Campaign es una campaña. Campaigner.
A formal meeting between leaders from 2 or more countries. Leaders.
A formal meeting. Okay.
Oh.
And that's a campaigner. Campaign es una campaña. Campaigner es algo que hace una campaña o alguien.
Okay.
Okay, so that means that we need to change some of the definitions. What about if we read the article and then we come back to this? Maybe the article can give us more information about it, okay? So, let's see. So, the United Nations Climate Change Conference. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres recently said 2021 is a make or break year to confront the global climate emergency. This means that action taken now will decide whether we succeed or fail completely. If this task was urgent before, it's crucial now, says Patricia Espinosa, a United Nations climate change leader. The COP26 summit is seen as a last opportunity to limit climate change to 1.5 degrees Celsius and meet the goals of the 2015 Paris Agreement. Okay. So this is just the introduction. Do you have any questions here?
No.
What is COP26? Okay, let's continue. Can you help me with the reading?
Yes. This year will see the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference. These events are also known as COPs, which stands for Conference of the Parties. The conference was due to take place in 2020, but it was postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting of world leaders will now be held from 1 to 12 November 2021 in Glasgow, Scotland. The United Kingdom and Italy are the hosts and share the presidency this year. Sir David Attenborough, the British natural historian and much-loved TV personality, has been named the COP26 People's Advocate for Climate Change as part of the preparations.
Advocate. Okay, so now we see this word. An advocate is someone that talks about the event, that promotes the event, and also is going to share all the information that is needed. So if we go back to advocate. It says here someone who publicly supports something and speaks in favor of it. That sounds good, right?
Yes.
Sounds like a good definition. Okay, so let's see. That's correct. Okay, that's okay. So let's see. Let's continue. Any more questions here?
No.
Okay, let's continue with the reading.
The 2015 Paris Agreement, COP26, is an opportunity to get the world on track to meet the objectives of the 2015 Paris Agreement, which was signed at COP21. The Paris Agreement represents an important moment in the climate change process because it was the first time there was a legal agreement bringing countries together to act. Since then, 119 countries have joined the Paris Agreement. The goal is to keep global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, ideally 1.5 degrees Celsius. To do this, countries need to reduce ¿cómo se dice?
Okay. Below 2 degrees. Okay. Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide emissions as much and fast as possible. However, time is running out. Despite the Paris Agreement, not enough has been done to limit climate change or to manage its impact on people and the planet. Teacher, ¿qué es running out?
El tiempo se está acabando. Running out se está acabando. Se está corriendo hacia afuera o acabando.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
What's
what else?
the plan now?
Okay.
The aim of the COP26 conference is
be careful. Aim.
Aim?
The aim,
is
la mira.
The aim of the conference is to bring international leaders together to make faster progress towards the goal of the Paris Agreement. The UN is asking the biggest carbon dioxide emitting countries to come to COP26 with ambitious plans to cut their emissions. The 2021 event has 4 goals set by its host, the UK and Italy. Agreeing teacher.
Can you hear me now, Camila?
Yes, but I can see the
okay. Not yet?
No. Se cortó otra vez.
Okay, let me know.
Ahora sí.
Okay.
Agreeing to more ambitious action to reduce carbon emissions, strengthening adaptation to the effects of climate change, making money available for climate action, improving the way countries work together on energy chain, clean route transport, and nature. COP26 bring together country leaders, experts, and environmental campaigners to work on the biggest challenge the world faces today. It is time for people to come together to take ambitious and fast action against the climate crisis.
Okay, do you have any questions here?
No.
No. So what about hosts? Let's go back into
Teacher,
the
teacher, yes, I
vocabulary.
have a question. Oh, well, no problem.
I'm sorry?
Luego lo vemos. Primero
Okay.
el host.
Host, ¿qué
Por
sería un
el
host?
momento, a place or organization that provides the space for a special event.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you give me a minute, Camila?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hello?
Hi, teacher.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So a host is a place or organization that provides the space for a special event. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So now let's go down here. Mhm. Okay, and you had a question here, right?
Yes. ¿Qué significa strengthening? Strengthening.
Straightening,
En el segundo
¿dónde me
punto.
está? Straightening adaptation to the effects of climate change. Fortaleciendo la adaptación.
Ok.
Okay.
Okay.
So, any more questions?
No.
Okay, so find out how you can get involved by visiting the British Council Climate Connection. Okay, and I believe that's it. But let's go back into the vocabulary. So we're still missing some options here. What is now a summit then? A summit.
A formal meeting?
Yes, that would be a summit. And to be due to, la razón por la cual se hizo, o esa es la razón por la cual, eso es lo que significa to be due to.
To be
I can say that's yes. That's correct. So what about a campaigner?
A person who participates in activities that are designed to change something in society.
Society. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so now we have the correct definitions here. Let's go now into the true and false. Number one. Are the sentences true or false? Number one.
The UN wants people to understand that COP26 is just one step in a long and slow process. True.
Okay, the UN nation wants people to understand that COP26 is just one step in a long and slow process. Okay. Not as slow, but they want to take action fast.
Fast, pero no, no es sobre el clima.
Sí, pero recuerda lo que dice la introducción. Dice aquí, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres recently said that 2021 is a make or break year to confront the global climate emergency. This means that action taken now will decide whether we succeed or fail completely. If this task was urgent before, it's crucial now. O sea, ya es urgente, no es algo lento.
Right.
Okay. Porque aquí dice, the UN nation wants people to understand that COP26 is just one step in a long and a slow process. Is something that has been taken slow steps because of COVID and all those things, but now is something that is urgent, so it's false. What about number two?
The COP26 conference was supposed to happen last year. False. Supposed es supuso.
Ajá, se supone. Bueno, recuerda que ya va a ocurrir en 2021, pero debió haber ocurrido en 2020 porque, y no ocurrió en 2020 por COVID, right?
Yes.
So the answer is
True.
O sea, se movió para el 2021, pero debió haber ocurrido en el 2020. 3.
Sir David Attenborough has criticized the goals of COP26. Tuvo críticas, dice, ¿no? True.
Bueno, criticó los objetivos de COP26. ¿Dónde hablan de Sir David?
Abajito.
Aquí, ¿no?
Es false, creo, porque no habla nada más.
No, no habla nada de eso, ¿verdad? O sea, él no criticó nada de eso, al contrario, advocó para ello.
Yes.
4.
The 109 countries that have signed the Paris Agreement are aiming to limit global warming to below 1.5. Yes and no. Decía 2. Sí.
Ajá, vamos a ver.
Pero decía igual 1.5. Ahí está. Idealmente. So false.
Ok. Idealmente 1.5. Ok. Todavía es más abajo. Entonces,
It's false, right?
well, aquí la clave es the 190 countries have signed the Paris Agreement are aiming to limit global warming to below. Y si es below, es false, porque es entre 1.5 y 2. Entonces, estás en lo cierto. 5.
Yes. Countries need to reduce carbon emissions dramatically to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement. True.
Yes, that's true. And 6.
The 4 objectives for COP26 were proposed by the UK and Italy. Creo que false, creo que solo UK. And Italy. It's true.
Okay, so it's true. Okay. So complete the sentences.
The conference tackles the issue of climate. ¿Qué es tackles?
Number 1. The conference tackles the issue of climate.
¿Qué es tackles?
Ha, ha, ha.
Tratar.
Tackles. Es atacar o mitigar. Tackles the issue of climate change. Number 2.
Environmental campaigners were unhappy when the conference was postponed.
Campaigners. And 3.
COP26 is the last opportunity for countries to meet the goals. The goals or challenge.
Meet es como alcanzar las metas, ¿no?
The aim is to limit global
Warming.
warming to below 2 degrees. Countries need to present their plans to put carbon dioxide
Emissions.
emissions.
Mhm.
International leaders will come together at the summit to discuss the action needed. The UN is asking for ambitious plans for change from the countries with the highest carbon emissions.
Okay, and 8.
Climate change is the greatest challenge the world faces today.
Faces today. Okay, so let's see. What do you think is the most important action to be taken to confront the climate emergency?
To stop de botar basura.
Okay. But you think
también,
is the only thing?
No, también quemar basura, porque eso afecta la capa de ozono.
También, ¿verdad?
Yes.
¿Qué más?
Ay, no lo sé. Bueno, creo que es lo más importante, ¿no? La basura.
Okay.
La contaminación del medio ambiente.
Bueno. What about things that can be changed in your country to control the emissions of CO2 levels? Do you have a problem for emissions in Bolivia?
Demasiado. Es complicado aquí porque es un lugar pequeño. Y las personas no tienen mucha educación tampoco.
Okay.
Por eso este año fuimos el lugar más caliente.
Really? Oh man, that's not good.
Le enviaré un video para que vean.
Okay. Yes, I would like to see what's going on. But anyways, let's move on to the next article. So, International Workers' Day. May 1st is International Workers' Day. On this day, people in many countries around the world celebrate workers' achievements and march in the streets demanding fair pay and better working conditions. Any questions on vocabulary?
Workers, trabajadores, right?
Yes.
No, pues. No. No.
So, vocabulary, to campaign. Anteriormente era a campaigner, pero ahora es to campaign, ahora es un verbo.
¿Campaña?
El hecho de hacer una campaña, ¿cuál sería la mejor
Un
respuesta?
organizador.
Okay, but what is the best definition?
An organization of workers that protects workers' rights. Workers' rights.
Okay. An organization of workers that protects workers' rights. No sería una campaña, sería algo diferente. Sería más como una trade union, ¿no?
Yes, trade union.
Sería de cambio, pero una union o un sindicato se supone que son creados para advocar por los derechos de los trabajadores. Ujú. Es un ganar-ganar. Es como si
Ah,
pagaras una membresía. No es
es
gratis.
una unión de trato, algo así, ¿no?
Exacto, sí.
Con un contrato.
No necesariamente un contrato, pero sí es una organización que se encarga de advocar por los derechos de los trabajadores, como un sindicato. Okay. And what else? So let's see, sick pay. ¿Qué significa sick pay?
Mm, the money you receive when you are ill and unable to go to work.
Okay. Mm,
And B.
unable to work, okay? Yeah, that's correct. Es un pago por estar enfermo, ¿correcto?
Yes.
What about redundancy pay?
¿Qué significa redundancy?
Redundante, que hay mucho.
Mm, a particular amount of money that is paid to a worker per hour, week, or month.
Pero eso sería más como un salario.
Yes.
And that would be wage. Salary y wage es lo mismo. ¿Qué es pensión? Pension. Pension.
An amount of money that is paid to a person by the government after they have reached the age when people stop working.
Age when people stop working. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. To go on strike. Huelga. Irse a una huelga.
¿Huelga? To refuse to work as a way of protesting about pay or working conditions.
Yes, that's correct. Solidarity.
Support for an agreement with other people.
That's correct. So what is redundancy pay?
The money you receive when you lost your job because you are not needed anymore.
Okay. And to campaign?
To organize together to achieve a goal.
Okay, good. Any questions on the vocabulary?
No.
No? Okay, let's read the article. Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you help me with the reading?
Yes. International Workers' Day. Why do we need International Workers' Day? International Workers' Day is a celebration of working people and a day when people campaign for decent work and fair pay. Thanks to action taken by workers over many years, millions of people have won fundamental rights and protections. Minimum wage have been established. There are limits on working hours, and people have the right to paid holidays and sick pay. However, in recent years, working conditions in many situations have got worse. Since the global financial crisis of 2008, part-time, short-term, badly paid work has become more common, and state patients are at risk. We have also seen the rise of the gig economy. Work campaigns hire workers casually for one short job at a time. These workers don't have the usual rights to paid holidays, the minimum wage or reducing pay. Solidarity with other workers is as important as ever. The history of International Workers' Day. In May 8, 8, 1886, por, no recuerdo cómo se dice, 400,000.
In May 1886, 400,000
workers in many parts of the USA went on strike, demanding an 8-hour working day. The strike started peacefully, but on the third day of protesting in Chicago, there was some violence. The police shot at unarmed workers, killing several of them. The next day, there were more protests and someone threw a bomb. 7 police officers and 4 workers were killed by the bomb or police shooting just after the bomb. The person who threw the bombs was never identified, but 8 workers were arrested. 7 of them were sentenced to death, and 1 of them was sent to prison for 15 years. This event, known as the Haymaker Affair, was very important in bringing working people together in the USA. Many people didn't believe the men were guilty, and the trial was criticized for being unfair. The high market fair became an international symbol of the struggle for workers' rights, and May 1 was chosen to be International Workers' Day. On this day, socialist parties and trade unions called for workers to demonstrate for the 8-hour day and in favor of peaceful protest. The 8-hour working day became law for public workers in 1892 in the USA. Since then, workers' movements all over the world have.
Okay.
All over the world have continued to fight for and win this right. How is Workers' Day celebrated now? Celebrations and protests take place in different ways in different countries around the world. May 1 is a public holiday in countries such as South Africa, Tunisia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and China. And many countries include French, Greece, Japan, Pakistan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. There are demonstrations on International Workers' Day. Workers' Day is a day for working people to have a rest from their usual labor. It is an opportunity to campaign for workers' rights, show solidarity with our working people, and to celebrate the achievements of workers all over the world.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No? Okay. So, oops. So what do you think about this article so far?
Sorry, teacher.
What do you think about this article so far?
Is team interesting
Yes.
because the workers then do ellos hacen que funcione el país. Todos trabajan.
Mhm. That's correct. Yes. And trade unions are not new. They have existed since a long time. But remember, I don't know if you read about working conditions in the US in the 1800s. They were very bad.
Right.
And that's why trade unions were created so that they can improve the working conditions of the workers. In I mean, some trade unions can be also corrupted, but that's another topic. Okay. We can discuss
Yes.
that later. Anyways, let's move on. True or false?
Nowadays, a lot of people have basic protection and rights where they work because workers took action in the past. True.
Okay, good. Oops. Two.
Since 2008, working conditions have become much better for a lot of workers. And true.
Mhm.
In May 1886, many workers in the USA decided to take action because they thought they were working too many hours. False.
Okay.
It's true, creo. Working too many. ¿Que estaban trabajando muchas horas?
That's correct.
Yes. The Haymarket Affair had the effect of dividing working people in the USA. False.
It was the other way around.
An 8-hour working day has continued to be an important condition for workers. True.
Mhm.
Most people around the world celebrate workers' days in the same way. False.
Okay, good. So, do people in your country celebrate Workers' Day?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that you celebrate?
The people toman demasiado.
Okay.
¿Qué
Okay.
sería?
Bueno, it's supposed to celebrate in a way that we have a job, that there is a system that we get paid by the law. But if
Yeah.
people decide to celebrate and drink, that's okay. But this day is supposed to commemorate when agreements were reached and people were going to get paid fairly. However, I know for sure that maybe the working hours is something that needs to be discussed, right?
Yes.
Is something that maybe hasn't been settled yet. In the
Yeah.
US, in the US and Canada,
Mhm.
if you work past your 8 hours a day, you get overtime.
Oh,
Yes, and by law is because you have to clock in. You need to show when you start working and when you get out. So that evidence shows if you are working 8 hours or not.
okay.
Y así es como se aseguran de que si estás trabajando las 8 horas.
Mhm.
Y muchas veces, por ejemplo, en América Latina, como no tenemos cómo ingresar horario y si lo hacemos no les importa, no son muy considerados del horario o las horas que uno trabaja.
Right.
And in the US, yes, they're very strict about that. Very, very strict. And if you don't follow the instructions, you can get penalized. Okay. And that's all for today, ma'am. Do you have any questions?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I hope you like the articles today. They're
Yes,
very interesting. Interesting information. And
yes,
before you go, can you help me with the daily survey?
yes. Please.
Okay. Thanks so much, Camila. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, teacher. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.